On.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to our Elite Club training tonight, or today. I guess it's the afternoon, actually. But I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to share with you some cool little tips to get you rocking and rolling today. So let's just see who's in the room. Go ahead and type in where you're from and how long you've been in Empower. I think that'll be kind of cool. So where you're from and how long you've actually been inside of Empower Network. And I think that'll be kind of a cool little interaction to get this thing going. But just real quick, the topic we're going to be covering today, it's going to be a little bit shorter than normal. And we're going to be talking about inviting to our webcast tonight, because one of the most profit-producing activities you can be doing is getting people on the live broadcasts that we do each and every single week as a company. So we're going to be really diving deep into inviting to that. So let's see who we've got in the room. All right, we've got, let's see, RJ from North Carolina. We've got Nicole. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All in since October 2014. Nice, Gene. We've got Stanley in the house. Robert Jones since the 7th. Oh, wow. So you've literally just a couple weeks. That's awesome. You're ready to get started. Awesome. Already good source, outline, bridge video. Okay, cool, cool. So guys, we're ready to rock and roll. So what I want to do is okay, now I see the comments coming in. So December 9th, awesome, cool, cool, cool. So I'm just gonna let you guys comment over there, and I'm just not gonna pay any attention to that because that might distract me from what I'm gonna be teaching you tonight. But it's super, super important that you follow what I'm gonna do today. So if you're committed to inviting to tonight's webcast, I'm actually gonna be a part of it, then go ahead and say I'm committed in the chat, and then we'll get this party rocking. So let me show my screen. And let's see here. There we go. Love all the comments you guys are doing. Let's see, 30 months. Nice. October 2015. Nice, nice. All in. Victor's all in. Cool, cool, cool. So if you guys are committed to get this rocking and rolling tonight, go ahead and type it in the chat. Victor's committed. Steve's committed. Nadia. Gene. Awesome, awesome. Okay, good stuff. So with that being said, here is really what our agenda is today. And I'm going to cover Q&A at the end as well. So if you have a question, click the chat or the button bottom right of the screen. You all see that? Okay, so if you have a question, click the bottom right of the screen. So Robert Jones committed. All right, good stuff. And once you do that, you can ask me actual questions that are coming up in your brain, as we cover this strategy. Because I know not everyone is going to be familiar with what we cover today, but I promise you this. If once you learn the strategies I'm going to be teaching you today about even just simple inviting to tonight's event, you can utilize this to inviting anyone to any event. Okay, so it's really, really cool, some of the things we're going to cover. All right, so hold on one second. Let me make sure I have all my web pages open for you guys. And my screen is good to go, I think. Hold on one second. There we go. I was having an issue seeing my own screen, so I think we're good now. So here's what we're going to be doing. So number one is you need to get your link. Okay, so you need to get your link for tonight. And real quick, if you guys are just joining in for the very, very first time, I've done 3 past trainings in the training archives, and you guys can all access that in your Empower Network back office. If you scroll down, you'll see under the Elite Club trainings, you can see a training archive area. All right. And then I have 3 elite clubs at the very bottom, and those are all about setting up your blog, getting your blog ready, getting content, and getting traffic to your blog. So you definitely want to go back through those if you have not seen those. But what I will say is today is a little bit different. Okay, so we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. We're gonna make you guys some money. Okay, so if you guys are ready to make some money, then you need to follow along what we're going to be covering today. So step number 1 is you need to get your link. Okay, and Vanessa was actually awesome to have created an event for you guys and I think she'll put a link somewhere on the page where you can actually get into this event group and get your link. Okay, so one of the cool things in here is, and I'll paste it as well. I think I could paste it. No, I can't. So she just pasted it right there. Good stuff. So this is the event page that you guys all have access to. And right here is all the swipe copy. Okay, this is what's really, really cool about this event page is you can literally create, you can literally just grab this copy and send it out to all of your contacts and all that kind of stuff. But we're gonna go over what to do with this copy and how I promote to the next event, to the live events. And you guys are gonna get a lot more visitors if you follow along exactly what I do. Okay, so here is step number 1. You get your link, and this is the link right here, empowernetwork.com/all access. Okay, hold on. My wife's texting me something. Make sure it's not important. Okay, good. We're good. All right, so empowernetwork.com/all access. Is everybody getting a clear picture of my screen? You should be getting a picture. I don't know if it's clear. Google Hangouts, you never know, but it should be good. Okay, back. So this is where you can get your link, get your swipe copy, get all that kind of stuff. But I actually got an email with the swipe copy, so I'll be sharing with you what to do with that as well. So the very first thing you need to do is get your link and get it all coded to you. So if you scroll down, you'll see a link right here, and it actually has this $ID equals. And let me show you what that looks like in the URL, and hopefully you guys can see this. I know it could be a little bit blurry. Actually, I put it up right here. So, okay, so here we go. You guys see that on the screen? All right. Yeah, refresh the page if you guys are having any issues. It should get you good. All right. So right there, that's the link you need to use. All right, so empowernetwork.com/all access, and then right here where it says $ID equals, and then you put your username. So how would I do this for my link? This is what I would do. Your EN username, so I would put my EN username. Just like that. See how I did that? So now my link is ready to go. This is what I'm going to promote on the internet. Now it's important that you test it. Okay, so you copy it, you go and test the link out on a browser. So you go test your link first. And yeah, that's a good point Vanessa made, is my username, because I've been in a long time, is actually a name, but most of you, it'll be like a number. Okay, it'll be an actual number. Okay, but for some reason, I know why, but the very beginning affiliates, they had a username that they were able to pick. So now everyone is a number. So yours should be a number. If you go to that page, you should see the page pull up, and you should be good. Okay, and then just look at the top, the URL at the top, and make sure your ID number is still right there, and you should be good. Okay, once you have your link, this is a bonus step. This is something I think, because you guys are elite members, I think it's important that you know about. It's not 100% necessary, but I will tell you it makes your life so much easier in the future. Because who would like to be able to promote this event each week without even having to remember your link and how to code it? Would anybody like to be able to do that? You literally don't have to really remember your link or how to code it or where to find it or what the exact URL is or whatever that is. Would you guys like an easy way to remember that without ever really having to remember? Yeah, for sure. Cool. So here's what I do. I use what's called subdomains. And if you don't know what a subdomain is, you can Google it or whatever you want to do. But I go to, it's just something in your GoDaddy or whatever service you're using. You go buy a domain, okay? And you use what's called a subdomain. So for example, let's say you bought a domain for your Empower blog, or you bought a domain for your capture page or whatever it may be. Inside the domain settings, there's a spot that's called subdomain. Okay, right there. See that? And as you can see, I have 27 subdomains forwarded. So that means I have 27 different links from this one domain that I purchased. Okay. Some of them give you up to like 200. You can use up to 200. But let me show you the reason I do this. So for example, I click Manage and check this out. There's one called Webcast. See that? So how did I create that? So let me show you what I did. So let's see if this is the right one. Yep, this is the right one. Okay, so I'll just cancel out that. So this is what I did, is I basically clicked Add Subdomain Forwarding. And yes, you can do Linkify. I think Linkify doesn't have masking, so just keep that in mind. I personally like masking, so if you have a domain, you can do it from back here, or you could do it in Linkify. Linkify is not a subdomain though. Linkify is a / something else. Okay, so it's a redirect. It's not really a subdomain. So let me show you this example. So you would just type webcast dot, and then what that would do is it would replace the www. So instead of putting like www, it would basically it would just say webcast instead of W's. And then it'd be webcast.yourdomain.com. And then you just paste in the URL we just coded. Okay. And I think if you leave the HTTP, it'll just take it off for you, but you don't need to put it there because it's already there. But let's just see what happens if I leave it there, just in case. I'm just kind of curious. Forward with masking. Now I like to mask it. I'll tell you why here in a minute. And then I just say webcast invite. And that's it in my title. We're not doing SEO or anything, so don't worry about the others. I just like to have something in the title. And then click. Now I also do temporary. Sorry about that. I like temporary because sometimes I like to change this link out with something else, like a blog post, like the recording or whatever. If the recording is in a different spot, or if I want to put it as a blog later, I can redirect this link anywhere I want to go. And if you do temporary, then you can do it quickly. Permanent, it takes a little bit longer. So temporary, and then I click Add. Okay, now I already have one, duplicate subdomain name, so we'll just pretend like I didn't have it. So now I have what ends up being like this. Let me show you the final result. So I have my subdomain named webcast forward with masking, live webcast invite from Mike Hobbs. And I did put the same thing in the description and the keywords, it looks like. But again, I don't think that really matters because we're not going for SEO here. And now check this out. Now I can just remember one thing, webcast.mydomain.com. Look at that. It goes right to my page that I'm promoting. Now, I've also, this is the bonus tip, I've also done this for every other website that I ever have. So check it out, Empower Hour. Now I use a different domain for this one. So I can invite you to the Empower Hour every week. Just by remembering empowerhour.mydomain. I can invite to the webcast every single week by just remembering my domain and webcast. Pretty cool, huh? I can invite to just my normal capture pages. I have income, so like the income disclaimer. I just put it on the income. So income, I just remember income. So basically I do this for like all my websites that I need to remember. It's the same domain for every single website. I just create a new subdomain for each one and forward it. And guess what? I don't have to ever remember what my links are. If someone says, hey, how do I join your team? You go to join.mydomain.com. You see what I mean? Hey, how do I watch that video? I just go video.mydomain.com. Goes right to the video.
Last year I helped.
Right? Oh, hey, how do I get on the webcast tonight? Webcast.mydomain.com. Hey, how do I get to Empower Hour tonight? Empower Hour. You see what I'm saying? Like I just make my life so much more easy. I never have to remember my domains because all I have to do is remember the subdomain before the domain that I picked. Okay, so really, really easy to set up, guys. I mean, this is so simple. You can do this. Okay, it's just called subdomain in your domain area. I know Namecheap has it, GoDaddy has them. All these different places have them. And as you can see, I have literally stuff for like everything, you know, even things that are like affiliates outside of Empower, you know, like 22 or ClickFunnels or any of these things that I used to promote. I don't really promote those anymore, but I would literally, if there's a link that I could use, I do a subdomain to it. Okay, so you guys cool with that? All right, good stuff. So Linkify, there's a spot for Linkify. You could do that with Linkify as well in Empower Network. But if you're going to buy a domain name anyway, you can do it from your domain back office. I mean, in Linkify, you don't have the option to mask, so that's the only reason I didn't use it on this particular tutorial. Okay, so now we've got our link. Let's go back over to the notes. So now, guess what? Instead of this big long link, now my link is webcast. I had a retire one that I showed in GoDaddy, but I didn't want to show this one because I have that in a different service. It's in Namecheap, I believe. So I didn't want to log into like a ton of different places. But this is the one I currently use now for all my stuff. So I'm just going to exit out of this. So now that's my webcast link. Now that's all I have to remember, and that's what we're going to be promoting. Okay. And then every week I know my link. So much easier, right? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to post to Facebook. Okay, so a Facebook invite. But here's the perfect way to do an invite to Facebook. It's called a 1 to 2 minute video invite. Okay, so right now, after this webinar, or even during this webinar, whatever you want to do, go do a quick 1 minute to 2 minute webinar or video invite. So what do you say in your video invite? Well, it's literally something like, hey, this is Mike Hobbs. I'm sitting here in my home office. You don't have to even say that. I mean, you could just say, hey, this is Mike Hobbs. Tonight, we're actually, I'm getting on a marketing mastermind where there's going to be 6 top earners in my company. They're going to be sharing what they do for generating leads, producing more sales in their business. And you can come and show up for free and learn how to do it for whatever you're building. It doesn't even matter what company you're in. You can learn what these top marketers are doing, and it's absolutely free to use. So all you got to do is go to webcast.seekprosperity.com and get on that webinar at 9 Eastern Standard Time. You see what I'm saying? And then let me know below if you're going to show up or something like that on your video. Okay. And that's it. Just a 1 to 2 minute video invite. And then in the invite, you're going to tell them to go to the webcast. Okay. So that's step number 1. And so let's go do that. Let me show you. So I did one. So we'll go over to my page. I'll click photo video. And I think the language was like almost identical to what I just said on the one that I did. So I just used my iPhone and I shot a video. So there's my video. I uploaded it. And now all I'm going to say is, would you like to learn exactly? And if this is like, you would just say exactly how 6 of the top marketers I know are generating more traffic and sales for their business. Come hang out with us tonight at, and then this is where you put your link. Webcast. You can use the copy too if you want. Like I know there's some copy that was given you. Like what if you had direct access? I mean, you can just use that copy too. That works. But that's all I'm going to say there, and that's it. And then so you have a video, you have a quick little blurb, and then you click post. So I would just say, for me, because I'm going to actually be one of the trainers, I would probably say it a little bit different. Like, would you like to learn exactly how I am? So you would say it like this, and I would say it like, I am along with 5 other top marketers are generating traffic and sales online. Come hang out with us tonight. Da, 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 da. So a little bit different wording because I'm actually going to be on the webcast, but that's all you do. Then I'm going to click post. And if you want to watch what I say in my video, I literally shot it like 2 minutes before before I got on this, or not 2 minutes, probably 5 minutes before I got on this webcast today. Because I was going to do it before, but I realized that, you know, if I shoot it while I'm doing this webcast, then we have to wait for it to render, and we have to wait for it to get on my computer and all that stuff. So I just figured I would do it previous to this webinar so that I could just show you the process. Okay. So your video is now processing. We'll send you a notification when it's ready. And then I'm just going to click close. So when the video is ready, it'll literally just post to my Facebook. Look, it's already there. So, well, boom. That's it. All right. And then if someone clicks the link, it goes right to the webcast. So that is your Facebook invite strategy. So that's step number 1. So that's the Facebook video invite strategy. 1 to 2 minute video invite. Ninja. Thanks, Robert. Cool. So who's going to go do their 2-minute video before tonight's webcast? I'm just kind of curious. I love to see who's the action takers in the room. See if you guys are still awake too. So who's going to actually do a video invite on their Facebook and do this? I mean, the thing is, if you guys don't do this, I mean, you're not going to make any money. All right. That's the bottom line. I mean, money is all attributed to action. So, all right, Robert, Nadia's going to do it. Peter, Steve, Amanda, awesome. Priscilla, Diane, Homer, Ricky, Robert, Steve, awesome. Gene, good stuff. So I got your commitment live in front of everybody. So make sure you go do it. Okay. Now the next thing, so that's step 1. Get that out there, and you have to do that before the webcast, obviously. So you got a few hours. I think that starts at 9 Eastern, so that would be around 7 p.m. my time. So I guess that would be about 4 hours. So 4.5 hours from now. Okay. So with that being said, let's go into the step 2. So that's the very first thing you do. And then next step is you send an email. Okay. So if you're not familiar with sending an email, if you don't have an email list, then you might not do this step. If you do have an email list, like Aweber, GetResponse, you'll be surprised. Sometimes I actually had one team member, they're like, I just logged into my GetResponse and I had no idea I even had leads in there. And it was kind of funny because she didn't realize she was generating leads, and all the leads were in there because the system that we uses API. So you don't get email notification when you get a lead. So sometimes you don't even know you're getting leads and you're getting leads. So just log into your GetResponse, and who knows, you may have some leads in there already. And even if you have one lead in your GetResponse, then you'll do this strategy. Okay. And if you guys followed the training that I gave you the last couple days, you should have people in your GetResponse already. So the last 3 trainings. Okay, so contact, okay, sorry, wrong one, not contacts. You go to messages and then you click create newsletter. Okay. And then if you're in Aweber, just look up Aweber, how to do a broadcast in Aweber, or whatever service you're using. If you don't know how to do it, or just figure it out. It's just, you're just sending an email. But in GetResponse, we're just doing a broadcast. And this is more of an over the shoulder type training I'm doing for you guys. So you're just watching me do what I do, and hopefully you get value from that. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a new email. And then where do we get the subject line? Well, in that event that we gave you on the right side, you can see the swipe copy, but I also have it here. Okay. So the subject is literally just tonight, live 6 Marketing Masters, live roundtable, access inside. I'm going to keep it simple today, and I'm just going to do that. You know, I mean, you can change it up if you'd like, but this is literally all you have to do. Okay, copy and paste. Let's get some invites out to your email list. Okay. There's really no reason to overcomplicate this whole process. Okay, so we'll just start from scratch because I know you guys have never seen me do this before. So start from scratch. I'm going to do 1 column 1. And show you how I do it. So right here, I'm going to paste the first block of text. So right here. So all the way to your name. Okay. And I think this was in there too. If it's not, then I'll give you the link to my broadcast here that I send out so that you can have the link too. There we go. So that's copy and paste the first set. Now we're going to go back through and we're going to edit this. So this is my process. This is how I do it. Okay. So I paste the first block of text in there first. Then I choose an image, and then I'll just go choose an image. I'll upload from my computer, just an image of myself. So I'll just do this one. And then I grab the second block of text, which is your PS. Okay. And then I'll go back in here. And there we go. So those are my 2 blocks. So I got my first block of text, I got my image, and I got my second block of text. And now it's time for us to go in and edit this message up and do some formatting and all that kind of good stuff. So one of the things I do is I make sure this is justified to the left. I don't really like it in the middle like this. So at the top, I usually just click on the left, align left. I think it looks better in the email when I do that. Another thing that I do is I make the text bigger. So I highlight all the text and I make it 16. So you can just type 16. Okay. So I make all the text 16. And Arial is fine. Whoops. You got to press enter or else it doesn't take. There we go. So there we go. So now the text is a little bit bigger. People can read it better. All right. And there we go. So now it's pretty big. It's 16. If you prefer line spacing, I know GetResponse does this, Aweber doesn't. There's just like this little line spacing thing. I actually like that like at 6. It gives you more white space in between your lines. I think it looks better. So I make the line spacing 6. And this is not that important. It's not like if you do 1, you're not going to get any sales. This is just nitpicky stuff that I do. All right, so that's it. Now my formatting is all good. And now that the formatting is good, I go in and I change out the links. So right here, I'm going to delete everything. And we're going to put our link, webcast. Okay, now it's all red, so we need to make sure I don't think it really needs to be red. So I'm just going to make it, whoops, black or something. and doesn't really need to be bolded there. Okay. So I'm going to grab that link and I'm just going to copy that link. That way I don't have to like keep typing it out. And then I'm going to make it a link itself so you could track your link clicks. So just click on the link button and put it in there again. And then that way you can track clicks later. Okay. I've never really collected first names in my autoresponder, so I delete that because we're not collecting first names. Unless you have collected first names when you're generating leads, then you can use their first name variable, just, you know, but you do it from here. You do it from this personalize, and then you do the first name. Make sure you do it from get response, but I haven't collected first names, so I'm not going to do that. There we go. Then just read through it. You know, what if it directs access, all in one place live. Imagine top generator, lead conversions, upselling, aces, and good news. All these experts and some more potentially are going to be live tonight. And I can even say this. All these experts, including me, because I'm there, you would obviously not say that, are going to be live. And then I need to delete this and paste in. Actually, I'm going to go up here and copy this. That way I can. There we go. So I don't have to redo the link. All right. And then this is going to be awesome. And again, boom. See you there. Hobbs. That's too big. 16, and we'll make it black. Okay, so there we go. So I've literally edited the top. You know, I've put my link in there. I put my name. I also link my image. So I click my image, and I always link my image to myself, like my webcast link. Oops. I also link the image to the webcast link. The bottom, I do the same thing. So, oops. I like to put a space in between those. Hold on. Just making sure it's not. There we go. So I'll copy and paste my webcast link, and I'll put it down here too. Boom. PS. So that's it, guys. So I literally just formatted the email the way that I want it, made the text bigger, maybe change it up a little bit if you want to. Have my name in there, obviously my link in there. I use the subdomain. You don't have to. I mean, you can use your Empower Network full URL there. I just find the subdomain is so much cleaner, makes it easier. All right. And that's it. So then once I have this, now here's what's cool. I recommend you saving this as a template. So over here, click Save As Template. Okay. Now, why is that? Well, next time you send an email, you can actually choose this as a template. So let me show you that example. So let's say you're sending an email later on down the line. We'll just go previous step. Check this out. So you choose your subject and then you go next step. Oh, didn't work. But you'll get to the point where it says choose your template. And then I chose column 1. But what would you do is instead you would choose pre-designed templates instead of start from scratch. You'd choose my templates, and then you would just choose one from here. And since you just created this one, check this out. You would use that template from here on out, and now all of your formatting, all of your everything is saved. Okay. And you can use this and then just edit the text, edit what you have, like edit your message. And I would use this template for every email you ever send out. You would just edit what you put here in the top block. You can edit your image and use a different image by just clicking there and choosing a different image. And then you can just change your PS line however you want it for future emails. So that's how I use GetResponse. I think this is really, really awesome that they do that. They allow you to have a template. So for example, I would have never had to redo any of that formatting if I would have used one of my old templates, but that's how I do it. I always use template, but I wanted to show you from scratch one time, at least today, so that you can get this out the way that I do it. And then once you do this, you just save as template, and guess what? You don't have to do any of that formatting again. You just paste in the text, change out the links, and the size and all that should already be formatted. So it's pretty cool stuff. So we're just gonna go next step. And then you choose the lists, obviously, that you're sending to. I don't send to all my lists because some of them are team lists and some of them are not. And so there you go. Those are the 4 I normally send to. And if you want to exclude anyone, so for example, like if you don't want to send this to your team, you can exclude your team. Like if you uploaded your team list inside your GetResponse, you can actually exclude them. I don't mind my team getting this because then they can send it out themselves. So, all right, there we go. And actually, I'm going to choose my team list because, hold on, because this is a team webinar as well. Okay, so there we go, and we're gonna click on send. Boom. How cool is that? How easy is that? I mean, I literally just did a picture right there, or I just did a email right there in front of you guys, exactly what I would send to my list and what I just sent to my list. And if you guys want to view this image or view this email, I can give you this link, I think. Maybe I can't. I don't know. Maybe I'll just paste it to Vanessa and she can paste it. There we go. But that's a direct link to the email. If you guys need that link, direct link to the email, how I did it. And this is what it looks like when people get it. All right. And we're good. Cool. So that's step 2 is emailing your list, the swipe copy. So again, let's get you guys committed on this. Who's going to do step 2? So step 1 was Facebook video invite. Step 2, email invite. Okay. Would you ever do perfect timing? No, I don't do perfect timing on live event type stuff because perfect timing could send that out. Basically, the perfect timing feature you guys saw on there, the perfect timing is set up to where it sends them the email based on when they normally open their email. What if they didn't open their email normally until midnight? Then they would be past time. You know what I mean? You would send them an invite to today's webinar and they wouldn't even get the email until midnight. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make sense. Perfect timing is more if you're just sending an email that has no time, you know, it's not linked to a time. It's not linked to a webinar tonight. It's linked to just nothing. I mean, it doesn't matter when they open the email. If they open it at midnight, it doesn't matter. That's the time you would use perfect timing. I just saw that in the chat. It wasn't actually official Q&A question, but I thought I would point that out. You just got my email, Robert? Nice. Yeah, you'll get the email pretty much instant when you send that out. Okay, so yeah, if you guys have questions, make sure you use the bottom right corner box versus the chat, so that way I can get to them at the end. Okay, so that's step 2. Step 3, and this is optional. Well, no, I mean, just do it if you can. I mean, obviously, actually, this is an extra step. I'll give you 4 steps, actually. I was going to just do 3 steps today, but let's do 4. So post your video on all your other social media sites. Okay, so that's step 3. I wasn't going to do that one, but I figured, hey, why not? You might as well, right? So go to Twitter, go to LinkedIn, post that same video that you uploaded to Facebook, and post it on your other social media sites, linking to the webcast. Might as well do that. And then step 4, this is more advanced. And this is only if you already have like a group on Facebook. Like, does anyone in here have like your own group in Facebook? So for example, like you started up a Facebook group and you invite others to get on it. Like I have a Facebook group, for example. Okay. No, but I don't monitor this group much. I just learned this from a guy, one of our team members, George Breyer, and he's just totally crushing it with this. And I thought I would at least mention it today because he's doing this and he's doing really, really awesome with it. Basically, anytime there's like an Empower event or anything, so if you build up a group, and I didn't even really think about this, so that's why I mentioned it, is I had this group forever and it's kind of just like a spam fest because I haven't really paid attention to it. You know what I mean? But I've had this group with like 3,000 plus members and there's like, 130 requests, people trying to get in my group. And I need to take more advantage of this group, at least utilizing it. And I haven't as big as my best of my ability. But what's cool about having a Facebook group is you can actually create an event. So if you click on those little dots, you can create an event for your group. Okay. So you can create an event for your group. And this is really, really awesome. So what you do is you just use kind of like the same thing. I mean, just put your, let's go over here since I already have my links. There we go. So you can literally, yeah, I mean, even if it's a spam fest though, if it's your group, you can market to those people. Like this is a spam fest, but I can do an event for them. You know what I mean? So any of the members of the group will get my event invite. Okay. And it invites all of them because they're part of your group. Now you used to be able to create an event like Vanessa did for you guys and then invite all your friends. But now they've kind of limited you. I think you can only invite like 200 or something at a time. So you're kind of limited. But if you build a group up, okay, if you build up a group like this, then you can utilize it better. So let's put our link webcast dot. Okay, and then the time is tonight. It's going by mountain time, so it'd be 7 mountain time. Probably ends at 9 or something. I don't know. Tell about the event, basically the copy. Oh, I could just paste the whole thing. Why not? Okay, let's go back. There we go. So there we go. I just pasted in just like I did on my email. And that's it. And then event picture, maybe just put a picture of yourself. I think that's always good. Or even better, grab a picture of maybe your video that you did. And you can even incorporate your video in there. I didn't even think about that. I mean, you can literally incorporate. Yeah, let's try that. Just take a screenshot of your video you made and then post that as your event. Photo. Oh, nice. All right, there we go. And let's see, let's create this bad boy. Well, bam. Now the photo is kind of small, so it's kind of a little distorted up there, but that's kind of cool. But I could probably create a better photo if I wanted to. And normally I just use a cool photo of me, but I thought it would be kind of cool to have your webcast link in there. So we'll try that out. But the good news is I just created this webcast, right? Or this event, and it invited all of the people in my group. So there's like 3,000 people in that group that were invited to this, right? Without me having to select them. And it's because I've built up that group. You know what I mean? It's because I built up that group. Now I could invite friends, but again, if I invite friends, you're limited. I mean, you're literally limited. I don't think you can invite that many people. Like you can click invite and you can choose friends, but it literally limits you to like 100 people or so. I don't even remember. Does anyone know the number? 50. Okay. So yeah, you're limited when you invite friends, but I just invited 3,000 people. Did you see that? When I created the event. So that's one advantage of having what they call a Facebook group and owning and managing a Facebook group. So you can create an event for your group, just like I did there. All right. And there we go. And then it posts the event up there. You can also, pin it to the top. All right. So this actually makes me want to re-engage this group, and get it going again. When I learned that from George the other day, that you can really, re-engage your groups, build up a public group, get people in your group, and you can, do events every single week for the group and invite them all. And then it shows up over here, upcoming group events, tonight. And it just invites them ongoing. Right now, 170 was invited. Last time I checked, it said 99. So I think it just invites them like a few every couple seconds or every minute or whatever. So you can go back and just keep on refreshing your page or whatever, and then you'll just keep seeing more being invited. Pretty cool stuff. So that is the tips I have for you today. I know, let's see, Facebook. Okay. If you own a group event. Well, boom. Well, bam. I always like saying that word. So that's the four-step process to really crushing it tonight and getting as many people there as possible. Sound good? So who's going to do this? Who's going to take action on this homework assignment? I guess this could be your homework for tonight, for today, is do this. Do these 4 steps. I could probably paste them over to Vanessa, or she could do her own simplified version of those 4 steps. But let's cover some questions. So let's go up to the questions. All right. So are there any paid strategies that you would recommend for my Kalatu blog? All right. So paid strategies for your Kalatu blog. At the moment, not really. I mean, when it comes to blogging, there's really not much you can do for paid stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'll even paste this up here. There's not really much you could do with paid stuff. I mean, you can buy backlinks and stuff, but I think that works better for YouTube than does your blog. So with blogging, the only thing that I do with paid for my blog is I outsource. So if you're looking for a paid strategies for your blog, maybe use outsourcing. Maybe you create a video, outsource someone to write the video transcription, post it to your blog, put the headline in, maybe find a keyword off of Google Keyword Planner, go through some of the SEO training in the Kalatu back office, have them do that for you. And that would be the only thing I can think of when I think of a paid strategy for your blog. Now there's paid strategies to go to your capture page. That's great. And actually let me take that back. Google pay-per-click and Facebook pay-per-click also favor blog posts. Just so you know. So if you ever get into Google, they like sending traffic to blogs versus capture pages nowadays. So if you have but it has to be like epic content. It has to literally be really good content that people are looking for. You can do Google pay-per-click and stuff. I haven't done it, but that's where it is. I've learned a couple things about Google pay-per-click, and that's where they're going. They want to send pay-per-click traffic to blogs. So that is an option. Create a really good blog post and do some Google pay-per-click to it if you want to learn that. But it's I don't really know much about it other than they like content. So, all right. How long have you been in Empower Network? Good question. I've actually been a part of Power Network since 2012. Well, actually, technically 2011, but I didn't get my own account till 2012. I was actually building an account with a guy named Adam Whiting in 2011. So the last 2 months there, and we were just kind of working it together while I was in Iraq. So I was literally in Iraq, kind of just sharing an account with my buddy Adam. And then 2012, I got my own account. So I got my own account in 2012. I've been marketing my account since then. I've earned a little over, I think it's $870,000 now, $870,000 so far in Empower Network. And we're on our way to the $1 million ring. So really, really excited about that. Obviously, results not typical, see average earnings, yada, yada, yada. All right. Next question. When inviting prospects to the webcast, would you send that video out now or closer to the webcast? I would do it now because people will see it. People will see it all day long. Okay? People will see it all day long. Do I boost my videos? I don't boost my videos on my personal profile, but yes, I do boost videos on my fan page. Not for webinar invites, though. Not for webinar invites, because sometimes if you boost a video, it won't even go out till tomorrow, or later tonight. So I definitely don't recommend boosting a video for an invite to a webinar, unless it's like 2 days out. All right, when I test my autoresponder messages from GetResponse, I do not see the images in my email. Any suggestions? If you don't see the images, a lot of times it's either your settings in your Gmail or whatever email service provider you're using. Typically, they say allow images at the top of your email, and then they allow it. It just depends on your service. But if it's showing up in GetResponse when you click on, so let me show you. So like you see how I clicked on the view online? If your image is showing up here, then it's on your end. It's on your email provider end. Okay? It's not, everyone else is probably getting it. You're the only one not. Okay? All right. Larry asks, how does using large font sizes and larger than normal spacing affect display on mobile devices? It doesn't affect it because it just shows up one display on your mobile device. It's like a plain text size. It does not display big on mobile. And I do believe they even have, like when you're doing your broadcast, it shows you what it looks like on mobile. Did you guys see that? Like, I don't know if we saw it when we were doing ours, but usually when you're creating your newsletter, it has like an option, like it just shows you your what it looks like on mobile. So if I click on that same template over here on the right, you see where it says look over there? That's what it looks like on mobile. So if it looks bad over there, then you can change it up. So for example, I didn't even look at that, but I noticed, look at this. What if you were direct access to 6 of the top is on another line? So I could, if I wanted to, make it look better on mobile by, putting top on this line. You see how I did that? And then I click over here and then putting there on the next line. So I didn't even really pay attention to that, but you see how I just made it look good on mobile? So that's something you can do. You can redo the line spacing here to match what it looks like on mobile, and then it just looks good on both. So I forgot to mention that, but so that was a good question. But yeah, typically I'll line it up, the line spacing, to match mobile device over here to make it look nice on both. But I just completely ignored that spot when we were doing it. So thanks for reminding me. All right, so since doing these tweaks with the subdomains on, okay, let's go back to my subdomains on my email broadcast. Did you see a rise in your click rates? If so, no, I didn't really see a big rise. I just think it's easier for me to remember. The subdomain is really not that big a deal. It's just a benefit for you, so you don't have to remember your links. There's really no difference. I mean, you can use the Empower link or you can use a subdomain. The subdomain to me is easier because I just remember it. Okay. Empower links are whitelisted. I mean, I don't think any services blacklisted them right now. I mean, they get blacklisted and then they get unblacklisted, so I don't really think that's going to matter too much on your click rates. But click rates, I have heard if you put the link like I did, like we did, people will click on it more than if you say click here. I don't know why, but I heard Ben Settle say that once. I'm on his newsletter, and he said like people click links, actual links that are written out like this versus click here or hyperlink text more. And that was from Email Marketing Guru. So take that for what it's worth. All right, a couple more questions here. Where can I find swipe emails for Aweber? It's the same, Homer. You just do an email broadcast from Aweber. It's the same process. You just do an email. It's the same swipe copy, same everything. You change out the emails the same way. You just do it through Aweber versus GetResponse. Okay. Do you send leads over to the event or do you to a capture page? Right now, Nestor, I send them directly to the event, but that there's nothing to say that you couldn't send them to a capture page. I mean, if you have the ability to create a capture page, why not collect the lead? You know, but I just didn't have time to create that today, so I didn't. But yeah, if you want to go to InstaBuilder and create your own capture page and send them there, then do that. You'll get leads from it for sure. All right, how can I set up Facebook group, or where can I learn how? Mary, it's easy. You just go over to your home page and you click on, go to the bottom where it says groups, create group. That's it. Like literally just create group, go through the motions, make it public, you know, add it to your favorites. You have to add at least one person to it, name it, and then click create. And then, you know, you can always upload an image to the group as well. It's like mine. Again, I haven't managed my group. I just got that tip from George Breyer. So I'll probably be managing it a little bit more. But let's go check out my event. All right, never mind. But yeah, I just got that tip from George Breyer. But other than that, I mean, you just need to upload an image and that's it. Like that's how easy a group is. That's how you create a group. That's how you manage a group. Facebook makes your life a lot easier. Like the training for it is literally that. Like what I just shared with you is literally the most you can really do with your group. I mean, there's other things you can do. Like you can put stuff in the files section, but you can just figure that out. I mean, it's super easy. And other than that, you just write posts, create content in the group, just like you would your personal profile. You know, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there's really not much to it. All right. Is there an advantage in having Facebook group instead of a fan page? Well, I prefer the fan page because you could do paid marketing. There is an advantage to the group though. Like what we just found out is you can invite your members to events, or you can create group events. I think that's the only advantage you've got. Also, groups are a little bit more interactive sometimes if you keep them spam free. But as far as advantage, there's no advantage. You either have one or have both. I mean, I would never have just one or the other. Like here's my point. I would never just have like, okay, I'm going to choose group over fan page. I would never do that. I would have both. Does that make sense? I would have a group, I'd have a fan page and a personal profile, and then I would utilize all three in different ways. Make sense? Like your fan page, for example, you can't do paid marketing without one. So if you ever want to do Facebook pay-per-click or any kind of paid marketing on Facebook, you have to have a fan page. Or it's called a business page now. It's not actually called fan page anymore. They're actually called pages. That's what they're called now, pages. You have your timeline, your personal timeline, and then you have pages. Pages are business pages. They're actually not called fan pages. They're more like pages. But yeah, so that's what they're called now. But yeah, the only advantage of a page is paid marketing. Advantage of a group is you have a group of people all kind of like together in one area that you can chat with, or you can send event invites to, or kind of manage. And then your personal profile, you can do Facebook chat, you can do friend requests, all that kind of stuff. Get more. Obviously, there's different things you do for each one of them. So with that being said, guys, I think that covers all the questions. Let me pull back up my face here. Okay, so appreciate you guys. I hope you got a lot of value today. If you got value, go ahead and type below, say, you know, what you got out of today. And my one call to action to you guys is to get as many people on this event tonight. Do what we just shared with you on this webcast, and you should be able to get more people there. And the more people you get there, the more money you make. Live events are what sell the business, okay, for you. So if you get more people there, you're going to get more sales. Utilize your email list, utilize your Facebook, utilize your social media, utilize what we just shared with you today, and you're going to go very, very far. So appreciate you all, and I'll see you back here on next Tuesday, I believe. And I'll actually be on the webcast tonight. Yeah, red shirt is definitely, I love wearing red because then it makes me look more tan because I'm like super pale white. For some reason, red makes me look more tan. So, all right, guys. See you guys in the next training. Bye for now.